So since morning everyone is in the room and maybe heavy with a lot of discussions, so we thought that we should do some different kind of the communication where I would like to engage all of our audiences with our panelists. I would say these are not the ordinary panelists, they are the experts. So we would see them as an advisor. Maybe we will be doing a Who Wants to Become a Millionaire, Nutra Millionaire program, right? No, you will advise them and they will become a millionaire. Of course, they will charge commission. So, everyone please give your attention. Hello? Give your attention. Program is on, movie is on. What do you see on the screen? Can anyone tell what is this? Yes, he needs coffee or tea or wine.
Wine.
Sleeping? It's a giant, sleeping giant. This is what I wanted to mention, that India have a lot of opportunities as we discussed. Last panel, it was a really brilliant panel and all the big companies were there. They are dominating almost major market share in India, and we have learned from them that within India, there are many India. So we really wanted to, we must wake this nutraceutical industry. So it's sleeping giant at this moment. Next slide, please. You can see the numbers. 2026, it's a $10 billion. 2030, 30, and 47 is the vision. This is what all the time Mr. Amit, he mentioned about where he wanted to grow this industry. We all are industry players, very serious players, and everyone is looking towards growing this industry. So, unless we will come together and make some good strategy behind it, because as we learned that every part of India, even within the Mumbai also, there is a different mindset. So we need to come together, we have to understand the Indian philosophy, and we have to make our strategy to wake this giant. And to wake this giant, we have this our experts panel. They are from the different part of the world. One is Mr. David. He's from USA, and he's a really big game changer. He is a big influencer in USA, and he really promoted a good product. He writes good things about the products, country, people, requirement. So we can hear from him. Mr. Morgan, he's a really very serious company behind providing all the high quality ingredients. They are globally available, very active. Mr. Muad is from UAE. They are very strong distributor in UAE market. We can learn from him that how he is doing the distribution network there. If any of us would like to extend our exports to the UAE market, he can guide us not only to the UAE, but of course to the global market. And as Ms. Som, I don't see her here, but as she mentioned that why can't we promote our ancient treasure from India to the global world? And there Mr. Deepak is there. He has a very old roots, good roots from Ayurveda. They are a very big serious company, and they have transformed from Ayurveda to a nutraceutical. So we have to understand from him also that how he has done his journey, what are the decisions he took it, what are the challenges are there, and he's not playing in India, he's playing in the global market. Okay, so let's begin with our main show. Who wants to become a billionaire? So this question is to our entire advisory panel. What is the most important for building Nutra at scale, like ingredient, influence, distribution, and the brand? So I would like to take it to hear from David.
You're starting with me? Oh my God, I would have started down there.
No, everything starts from US. You know, when we open a paper, we see the
Mr. At the beginning of the book.
Mr.
Right,
T.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. So taking it to scale, I mean, for me as a pharmacist, that's my original background, and being in Nutra now, for me, to build a brand, I feel like it needs to be built with credible science. For me, like that's the most important thing to start with. So proven efficacy to me goes a long way. I mean, there's a lot of other layers that are in there, but I feel like if I don't have the proven efficacy, then why am I putting a product on the market? Because eventually the consumer will consume it and it won't work, and then you get one chance to make a first impression. I ruined Vine this morning, so luckily we're okay. But anyway, that's my beginning answer.
Right. Okay. Good. Morgan, how about you from the ingredient lens?
So you have to ask yourself the question, why? Why am I here? Why am I talking up here in the stage? Well, because firmly, I believe that India is the future. Yes. India that I can see in the 10 to 15 years now will be among the top, if not the top, when it comes to Nutra. As part of Freeman, this is what I've tried to work on, where I'm looking at the constituents, the assets, the capabilities of all the companies here. And I think that the sum of all the parts you're talking about, the brand, distribution, influence, the sum of the parts are more than the individual constituents by themselves. So, as a distributor, the obvious answer would be, oh yeah, I believe distribution is the most important. But it's not. It's not. I think that every aspect has an equal part to play to make anything successful, whether it's Nutra, pharma, or anything that we do. So I really would like to build on that later on.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, how about you?
Okay, maybe let's take it like this.
Sorry.
I think all matter, but from my point of view is the distribution. Why? Ingredients will give you a great product. Influence get you a great awareness, and brand give you a trust. But we cannot reach to the consumer without a great distribution.
Right.
So I feel the distribution is like the engine that it will work all together. All matter, but the distribution is the most important thing here.
Yes, we do agree, because when we need anything, we just do the Blinkit, or we immediately do any e-commerce and we call it. So distribution is the real hard work. Of course, we have to do the quality ingredient, product, claims, science, everything should be there behind it. But unless you have the distribution, right channel and availability in every part of the city and every part of the country, it's not possible to make the brand. How about Deepak? What about you? What do you say?
So I'll just start on the quick commerce Blinkit example that you spoke with. I was speaking to the category head at Blinkit, and he mentioned something that if a product is not present on Blinkit, then the team is actually monitoring the number of searches of a product which is yet not listed on the quick commerce platform. What that means is that Blinkit is giving listing to the people or to the brands which are already being searched. Okay. Now, I have a point of view that distribution can take you to the right store in the offline world. but the brand is going to help you pick up that product from the store. And therefore, of course, without a great product, a great distribution, a brand is nothing. But before a person tries the product, he experiences the product through the brand language. And which is where the marketing, the brand, in my opinion, is the first experience that a customer has with your product. The repeat comes because of the product itself, and distribution makes it easy for people to consume it again and again. So if I have to choose one, I'll choose brand first. But again, that's my point of view at my little understanding.
Good, good. Well taken by everyone, and everyone have chosen their space. So, well done. So, coming to you, Morgan, let's begin with the ingredient story that ingredient become more than the raw material and start becoming a true scale asset. When, how?
This probably aligns more with Deepak's comment there. Now, I'm going to ask, I will say one word, and I would like you to think about what comes up most immediate. The word is Camry. Camry is a car model, it's a sedan of Toyota. Now, if you look at Camry as an ingredient and Toyota as supplier, this word Camry has actually eclipsed the consumer's mind more than the brand itself. It has become its own brand. Reliability, the value for money, and this is what you would like to do if you have an ingredient that you want to sell to the world. You want the ingredient to have such brand equity that people, it would be great if people knew the name of the company that manufactures it. But most of the time, the consumers want to know what's the brand of the product that's in the finished goods. So if you work on this premise, the key here is to make your product sexy enough that people look at it and say, oh, that's the one I want. I want this type of herb. That's the brand I want on it. I want this type of ingredient. It's that name I want on my product. If you get to that stage, you have won most of the battle in terms of the perception of the consumer. And also, that creates a huge stickiness for people like us. Because when I'm looking as a distributor, with my distributor hat on, I like to think that how far can a product go will depend on how well we can communicate the value of the ingredient we're trying to help sell. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's very important. Ingredient is plays important role in any brand. I do agree, because efficacy does matter. So it's very important. So coming to you, David, now I would like to know what do you think are some of the key points for ingredient suppliers or the finished product companies who are trying to penetrate the US market?
So the U.S. consumer is definitely very unique, and I'd have to say that in America there's a significant amount of pill fatigue. So I'm going to start with what really puts you in front is, especially younger generations. I'm a baby boomer. I'm the last year of baby boomers, so I probably don't count in this equation. But the younger generations are really looking for things that fit into their everyday lifestyle, as opposed to taking one more tablet or capsule. So delivery format is huge. So where does that fit with our India discussion and ingredients? Earlier today, I actually moderated a panel, and we were talking about technology, and that's another area I think that India really does lead the world is technology, especially in the Nutra industry of increasing bioavailability, which is that's okay, but solubility, dispersibility, etc. So the average consumer in America is also looking for something they can feel working as quick as possible. You're used to taking 2 ibuprofen, and 45 minutes later your headache is gone. That's
Right.
that's the mentality really of the American consumer. I think it's probably more so global, because I think people are tired of trusting a brand because they say it's going to work,
Right.
versus if I'm taking something for cognition and I can literally feel it 20 or 30 minutes later. That experiential thing is another a big aspect of what I think the American consumer. I mean, yeah, they're going to look for science and everything, and that's because that's my baby, so to speak. But the reality is, if you're really trying to get to the consumer at the end of the day, that experiential and the ability to have a unique delivery format is really what's going to get you to rise to the top.
So you mean to say if any Indian company would like to penetrate in US market, they have to come up with some different solution which can attract their attention, and they would like to try it, right?
Exactly, and so like if I'm here in India and I'm looking at really getting my ingredient or product, and I'll just focus on the ingredient part of it into America. I highly encourage the companies I consult for to make prototypes in advance. So have somebody do the work for you on figuring out how do you formulate a gummy or how do you formulate a sachet, get the flavoring, get the consistency. Like those are really, I think,
True. Yes,
probably the
agreeable.
big keys. I know with your company,
Yep.
you guys are great at doing that. So there's a commercial for you, but
Yes.
yeah, it's you almost have to solve the puzzle for people in advance
Right.
to really get penetration in the American market.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We're now coming to you, and since you come from the distribution side and having a very good network and the successful story, Ras, I would like to know, having strong presence in UAE market, according to your perspective, what makes you take nutraceutical brand seriously?
Okay. Once I'm looking for a new brand, I'm always looking for two things first. First, I'm looking for the market need. Is the brand, is a market need? Is it an added value for the consumer or not? Or we call it in our language, me too. It's just a copy. So in this case, that's the first thing that I'm looking for. I'm looking for something unique, something new, something added value. I will give a small example here.
Okay.
It's not, there's a lot of examples in the market, but this is just a small example. Everybody knows glucosamine. It's available in the market. And there is glucosamine with collagen, with the NSAIDs, XYZ. There's a lot. Normally, the glucosamine, you have to take 2 or 3 tablets daily. Once I found that there is a product like a once daily, that's an added point for the product.
Right.
So here, how can I choose the product? That's number one. And that's a small example. Of course, you can talk about the other ingredients and all other brands. Second, I'm looking about the company and the manufacturer behind this product. Are they looking just to sell me like a one-time and that's it? Or they are ready to invest and develop with the product with the distributor? Because the market is dynamic. And every day there is a new trend and the new ideas. So if I'm selling something since 1990s, it will never work. And if the manufacturer or the company behind this product are not ready to change through the R&D, every manufacturer, they have their own R&D, I'm not ready to work with these type of people. So two things, the product itself, it's an added value, and the manufacturer behind this product.
Right. And the innovation too.
Sorry?
And the innovation too. Innovation too. Yeah, that's correct. So Deepak, we would like to understand from you, with having roots in the traditional Ayurveda, what draws your transition into modern nutraceutical, and what key milestones have defined your journey in scaling the validated wellness solution globally?
So actually, my journey with Auric started 15 years ago with a backbone fracture, and that backbone fracture led me to physiotherapy. When physiotherapy did not do justice, I turned towards yoga, and 5 years of yoga healed me. So I thought if yoga works, maybe Ayurveda also works. So it started more as a question, as an introspection. And then, of course, I started diving deeper into Ayurveda, started understanding consumer uh, feeling of wellness and nutraceuticals, and there were three particular points that became clear to me. One, everyone wants to be healthy, but they do not have time and energy to be healthy. If you make wellness convenient for busy lifestyle, it helps people to adopt wellness. Number two, people are slowly moving from pharmaceuticals to alternative medicines. And Ayurveda definitely has a space to make its own alternative medicine for the world. And the third most important thing was that world over, there is a deep curiosity on India's culture, India's diversity. And therefore, you have an opportunity to bring India's culture to the world without them visiting India. As simple as that. And these three things put together helped shape my vision at Auric to take Ayurveda from India to rest of the world. And today, as we speak, about two-thirds of our revenue comes from North America and one-third of our revenue comes from India. And to answer to David's point, absolutely correct. A pill fatigue is very common thing in US, which is why we decided to go in the effervescent tablet format. And in that format, we realized something that people do not wake up in the morning asking for Ayurveda. No one says that I want Ayurveda. People wake up in the morning with their problems.
Right.
It can be bloating, it can be poor energy, it can be poor skin. And therefore, we call ourselves as wellness first, Ayurveda second. We answer to those problems through Ayurveda. And there is a slight difference. Ayurveda is not the reason to buy the product. Ayurveda is the reason to believe into the product, which is where we change the conversation, we change the format, and we were able to bring wellness through Ayurveda, not only for India, but for rest of the world as well. Of course, at this moment, there's a lot to be done. We are still a startup. We are still at a pretty small scale, but we know for sure that we can probably be the next gurus, hopefully. So yeah, that answers your question.
We really appreciate the way you have marketed your product and made this product available there, and continuously, repeatedly, you are able to deliver the values of the product. So it's not you are delivering the value, but you are delivering the entire Ayurveda system to the whole world, and you have done a really fantastic job. Yeah. So Morgan, coming to you back, what are the biggest ingredient red flags that immediately tells you product may struggle globally, and what do you correct it? Can you give some examples?
I think we had given some great examples a moment ago, so I won't repeat those ones. I'll give you a couple of examples. And I think something that hasn't been said here all day is that, yes, we are doing B2B, but a lot of the times we are doing P2P. It's people to people. You have to like the person that you're dealing with. If you don't like the guy, it doesn't matter if he's got the greatest deal in front of you. It just won't work. Okay? So, and that leads to trust. So, trust can have other words like credibility. You do what you say and you say what you do. Being transparent. There's been times where these novel ingredients have come up to us and the timing just wasn't right. They're a bit too early. Yes, they had a great product. Yes, they had a great story. But they didn't have everything. Sometimes you have to say, okay, hey man, you're doing well, but you're probably 1 or 2 years ahead of schedule here. You need some time to work on some of the weaknesses that you have. And a great example would be, I won't name the company, but there's a product where they came up with a spin-off from a university, and initial funding came from the public sector. Okay, great. Worked out well. They scaled up, making the extract. Okay, finished product is pretty good. Easy to taste, it tastes good. It's easy to put into a finished product. They made it so it was actually reasonable in the commercial sense. Everybody can have lunch and be fed along the way. But the last step they didn't really do was they looked at the global market and said, wow, this is a $1 billion opportunity. Okay, great. Yes, there's many, many opportunities that have that. But the thing is, they forget that every market has its own nuances. How do you sell in market A versus how do you sell in market B is entirely different. You need to have people that understand, speak the language, and are able to articulate well enough your value proposition. If you say, oh, my product's great, people will buy it, it's going to sell itself. Okay, good luck. Go do it, please. But if you want to go far, you have to do it together. You need people to help you. And you need people that are better than you at certain aspects. You could be a genius. You probably are a genius. But you're not a genius at everything.
Right.
You're not the best at everything. Ask my wife, I'm best at nothing. So, like, you need to think about how and what life stage are you? Are you in the very start end, like where you've got the great idea, but you haven't quite figured out the execution and ticked all the boxes yet? We can help you tick the boxes there. We can help you identify them, but we can't do it for you. You have to have the conviction to go ahead, spend the money, go through the pain, survive through the process, get through the valley of death.
Yes.
Okay? And the other end of the spectrum would be you're so well established already. You know, you're part of a big conglomerate where some of you guys are from here today, and you have the resources to do it. You have the direction. And if I, as a distributor, looking at in a B2B lens, I would say sometimes, and quite frankly and very honestly, you don't need me. You can do this on your own. And you could probably do a very good job on your own. So there's people like we are to myself who sit in the middle, not quite in the startup phase over here. They're not quite so established that they have their own entire infrastructure and network. We operate right in the center. And if the people that we look at, that we work with, and the ingredients that they are proposing fit within that gamut, along with the features that I was talking about before, I think we've ticked 80% of the boxes, right? And that's where when we look and say, okay, can we work together? Well, first question is going to be, do we like each other? Yeah, you might have a great product, but your plan and your marketing is a very average C-class plan. You're probably going to get a C or a D-class result. If you have a B-class product, but an A-class plan and marketing, you will get at least a B-class result. It all comes down to expectations, setting yourself up ready at the start. We all want to succeed. We all want to see other people succeed.
Yeah.
But sometimes you've got to tell them the hard truth, because the truth hurts sometimes.
Good. Thank you very much for wonderful examples. And now we'll ask one more question to David, our game changer. Yeah. Since you work globally, do you see any trend that seems to apply across regions? Also, what are the hottest area of interest in North America and Europe? What do you feel it is untapped? So it is a good opportunity for the audience.
Well, it's an interesting question, because one of the people sitting in this room, his company actually provides information that would benefit this. I wish I should invite him up, but
Okay.
Every market has different areas of what I like to call white space, right? So if you can find consumer information on, like, you might have a great ingredient, and I know you do, for like sleep, right? And so you might think that sleep would be great in Europe, but the interest in taking sleep supplements is very low, then that's probably not the market you want to go into. So one is really understanding. So consumer research is really important. Globally, like you asked about Europe and America, I think anything in the mental wellness space is still very hot. And then meaning, so cognition, sleep, or stress, those are definitely huge areas. But then if you go to other parts of the world, and I do travel, I do speak all over the world, you go to Asia, probably the biggest area of interest is really within the skincare, especially in Korea, Japan, China. I mean, there's a lot of money, a lot of margins involved there. And even the fact that the large cosmetic brands are now getting into the beauty from within. I think those are, I'll try to keep it tight, but those are areas I think that are probably of most interest.
Now, thank you very much. Thanks for your giving good suggestions. Now, Muhammad, I would like to ask you, since you are very strong in UAE, what the brand, if they wanted to penetrate in the UAE market, what they should do? So we just wanted to understand how they should penetrate.
Again?
How they should penetrate in the UAE market, how they can do penetrate. What are the key features, milestones they have to keep in their mind?
Okay, today morning, there's one of our colleagues early morning talk about the Indian market, and he say we cannot say an Indian market, and even my colleagues say the same. You can say Mumbai market, Kerala market, New Delhi market, but you cannot say an Indian market.
Right.
The same is in UAE. UAE is something different than other countries in the world. You have to understand this market and to choose the right distributor that can lead you to the market in the right way. Because if you have a success story in the Middle East, let's say Jordan, Egypt, that's not mean that you can implement the same story in UAE or Qatar or Saudi Arabia. Each area, they have their own type of people, type of consumer, how they are spending their own money through health, through supermarkets, whatever. So we need to understand the people more by choosing the right partner. The right partner does not mean the big partners. Big partners will never ever work with a new company, launching a new company. Because the big partners already working in pharmaceutical companies, and they are creating billions, hundreds of millions of dollars. So anyone is targeting for the first year, the 1 million, they will not look at them. You have a new baby, you have to choose the partner for this baby.
Right.
So search for the good partner to launch your product. That's what I will say.
Thank you so much. It's a really a very big advice, $1 billion advice. Pay commission to him. Yeah. Deepak, over to you, because now we are running short of time now. So we just wanted to understand the international scale, because you're already there, then you might have studied about the scale also. What changes first? The product, the claim language, the channel mix, the consumer behavior strategy, and what are the biggest challenges one should keep in the mind?
Sure. So that's a quick one. So the channel mix does not change, because the principles behind Meta, Shopify, Amazon, Google, TikTok remains the same across the boundaries. So the channel mix, the channel understanding does not change. From the people demographics and psychographics perspective, that's again a little easy because um, the trends in India are generally 5 to 15 years after a trend has reached its peak in the US. So what that essentially means is that what is appealing to 25 to 40-year-olds in India is generally appealing to 40 to 60-year-olds in America. Okay, so from that perspective, that also becomes an easy navigation for me. The other two things are related, product and claims. Okay, because the FTC regulations, the US FDA regulations, the generally recommended as safe ingredients, and so on and so forth, are very different in India as compared to North America, and therefore you have to tailor your formulations, your claims to the local population. Okay, just to give you a simple example, dandelion is considered a top 3, top 4 ingredients for liver detox in North America. In India, people don't know about dandelion. So when we formulated our liver detox product for the US market, we had to change our India formulation and suit the needs of the local market. So therefore, product and claims go hand in hand for me, but not so much on the channel side or on the customer profile side.
Okay, thank you so much. Since we have a less time, I will just quickly ask you one more question, and then we have one polling round. So, one word or two word maximum from all of you.
One word. One word.
What is the scope for nutraceutical for global market?
If you say one word, you get an award.
What do you see the scope of nutraceutical from India to the global market?
Can I say a sentence?
One word.
She's very strict teacher.
Get in the IPL.
One word. One.
One.
There is a huge opportunity all over the world.